What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be discussing the top 10 fastest vehicles in GTA Online in 2023 in terms of top speed. Now, I do want to clarify that aircrafts will not be included in this. It is only cars and motorcycles. Now, obviously, in GTA 5, top speeds do vary based on road bumps, curbs, wheeling on certain motorcycles, etc. However, these top speeds are chosen based on Bruffy 1322's accurate top speed testing in a controlled environment for every single fully upgraded vehicle, which is honestly the best way to accurately compare these top speeds. Now, I will leave the link to his channel down below if you haven't subscribed to him, and you really should subscribe to him because he is undoubtedly the king of car testing for GTA by far. Also, for those of you who don't know, the speedometers in first person are not accurate on cars. The only one that's relatively close is the digital speedometers if you want a closer reference, but in general, first person speedometers are not exact. Some will say you're doing 120, others will say you're doing 220. It's just all over the place, so keep that in mind. And the last important thing I want to mention here is the HSW cars will also be included in this list. And for those of you who don't know what HSW is, it's basically high performance upgrades that make certain cars go a lot faster. Now, the HSW upgrade is only available on current gen, meaning PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. So currently it is not available for PC, PS4, or Xbox One. But anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with number 10, we have the Arena Death Bike with the Boost upgrade. Now, to get this one, you have to buy the original Gargoyle for about 100,000 and then take it into the Arena workshop and install one of the Arena variants on it, which cost 1.2 million. Then you will need to fully upgrade it and of course install the Boost upgrade, which costs 400,000 depending on whether or not you have the discounted price unlocked. So basically, consider this a $2 million motorcycle after it's fully upgraded and everything. However, if you hold the wheelie and of course boost at the same time, it has an average top speed of exactly 150 miles an hour, which is crazy fast considering how slow most vehicles are in GTA Online. However, keep in mind that this bike is not usable in normal races. Moving on to number 9. We have the Turismo Classic with the HSW upgrade. So the base Turismo Classic costs about 700,000, and then the HSW upgrade on top is about 900,000. So that totals about 1.6 million for the base price of this car. Now, this car has a very impressive top speed of 150.5 miles per hour, which is extremely quick for a classic car. Now, the HSW Turismo Classic not only has a great top speed, but it's also one of the best cars in that class for track performance, which means it's not just a straight line car. Continuing to number 8, we have the Entity MT with the HSW upgrade. So the base price of the Entity MT is about 2.3 million, plus the price of the HSW upgrade, which is 850,000. That makes it about a $3.2 million car, which is crazy expensive, but it does have a top speed that matches the HSW Turismo Classic of 150.5 miles per hour. However, the reason I placed this one ahead of the Turismo is because it has a slightly better lap time on most tracks. However, do bear in mind that the Entity MT currently has these slow handling flags, which makes it go slower over bumps. So that's something that really needs to be kept in mind before you buy this car. Honestly, I personally don't think the Entity MT is worth it, but factually it does have that top speed, so that's why it's on this list. Next up, on to number 7, we have the Devest 8 with the HSW upgrade. So the base Devest 8 costs about 1.8 million, and then the HSW upgrade on top is about 1.1 million. So that totals about 2.9 million for the base price of this car. It has a very impressive top speed of 151.75 miles per hour, which is currently the highest top speed in the supercar class, and makes the Devest 8 very useful on tracks that are a bit more top speed intensive. Moving on to number 6, we have the Banshee with the HSW upgrade. So the base Banshee costs about 100,000, And then the HSW upgrade is a crazy $1.8 million, which totals over $1.9 million for a sports car, which is just insane, especially for a car that just looks like a, old OG sports car. However, its performance is also insane, having a top speed of 153 miles an hour, which is, again, just crazy for an old OG sports car. You would really never expect to be that fast unless, but it's an HSW variant. And that also makes it a top 5 sports car in terms of track performance as well. Continuing to number 5, we have the Karin S95 with the HSW upgrade. So the base price of this car is just under $2 million, and then the HSW upgrade on top is about $500,000. So that totals about $2.5 million for this car, which seems pretty crazy, but the top speed of this car is also very impressive, with a speed of 155.5 miles per hour, which is extremely quick for a pretty average looking sports car. I always find it kind of funny seeing a Toyota 86/Subaru BRZ being one of the top 5 fastest cars in the game. It's just hilarious to see. Next up, on to number 4, we have the Sterling GT with the HSW upgrade. So the base price of this car is just under $1 million, and then the HSW upgrade on top is $900,000. So you're all in just under $1.9 million for this car, which is definitely a lot of money, but this is a lot of car. The HSW Sterling GT not only has a very impressive top speed of 156.75 miles an hour, but it also has incredible handling considering it's a classic car, and an incredible exhaust note as well. Plus, it's one of the fastest cars in that class for track performance. Moving on to number 3, we have the Vigero ZX with the HSW upgrade. So the base price of this car is just under $2 million, and then the HSW upgrade on top is $550,000. So you're all in about $2.5 million for a muscle car, which is pretty crazy. However, this is not only the fastest muscle car in the game, but it's also the fastest car in the game, period, since the top 2 spots on this list are actually motorcycles. So this car has a top speed of 157.5 miles per hour, which is insanely impressive. Now, its handling isn't the greatest. It's somewhere between the older OG muscle cars and the newer ones, so I would say it's sort of maybe slightly above average, but combine that with its crazy top speed, and that makes it the fastest car in the class for both lap time on most tracks and top speed as well. Continuing to number 2, we have the Hakuchou Drag with the HSW upgrade. So the base price of this bike is just under $1 million, and then the HSW upgrade is about $1.4 million on top. So you're all in this bike for about $2.4 million, which seems like a lot, but this bike not only has a crazy top speed of 157.5 miles per hour, but it's also the best vehicle in the entire game for track performance. It basically takes off like a rocket-powered vehicle. The acceleration is just nuts, and of course the top speed on top of that, it's just crazy. Plus the handling, which is above average compared to most bikes. Now, it's not the best in terms of handling like the Shotaro, for example, but it's not terrible either, having just a bit more understeer. But with that speed difference, it more than makes up for it everywhere else. Just a beast of a bike and just a beast of a vehicle in general. Highly recommend the Hakuchou Drag with the HSW upgrade. And lastly, on to number 1, the fastest vehicle in the entire game for top speed. Again, not including aircrafts, just, vehicles. We have the Reaver. So this bike has an insane top speed of 163 miles an hour when holding a wheelie. And the craziest part is that this bike isn't even an HSW vehicle. So for those of you guys on old gen or PC, you still have the fastest vehicle in the game even without all the crazy HSW stuff. So the Reaver has a base price of about $1.9 million, but honestly, under $2 million for the fastest vehicle in the game really isn't all that bad, all things considering. Now, I will mention that the Reaver does suffer a bit in terms of handling and acceleration, where it sits around the pace of some of the OG top bikes like the Bati 801 and the Akuma for track performance, so That's why I personally recommend the HSW Hakuchi Drag over this one because of its handling and of course the acceleration. But obviously if you're on old gen and you just want a crazy fast vehicle for straight line performance, the Reaver is definitely the way to go. But anyways guys, there you have it. Those are the top 10 fastest vehicles in the game in terms of top speed for 2023. Definitely let me know whatever top 10 videos you guys would like to see down below in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.